A petition accusing Disney of colonialism and rubber myth trademarking a phrase used in the film The Lion King has attracted more than 30,000 signatures. Hakuna means no problem or no worries in the Swahili language, which is spoken across East Africa. Disney first applied to trademark the catchphrase in 1990. For the same year it released the Lion King animation. The role has risen now amid hype over its live-action remake. Petition organizer Shelton Pollia hopes he can persuade the United States company to abandon its Hakuna Matata trademark. A lot of Swahili speakers have been utterly shocked. They had no idea this was happening. Mr. Pollia told the BBC, "Growing up in Zimbabwe, I always had an understanding that a culture, its language, was its richness." Disney has not responded to the BBC's request for comment. The Lion King franchise also includes a stage musical, merchandise such as T-shirts and toys, and computer games, plus several film sequels and TV spin-offs. Mr. Pollia says he is not a Swahili speaker, but he believes the trademark is merely the latest example of Africa being exploited in some shape, fashion or form. He is not alone. Some Kenyan newspapers have also accused Disney of stealing from Kenyan culture by claiming ownership of the phrase, and the current debate appears to have started with this article on the Business Daily African news site. News of the trademark has also angered many on social media. This is blatant robbery that should not be allowed to stand. You do not have to speak the language to know that this is an egregious theft, one that recalls the way that Africa, its precious treasures, were looted. Please find this petition. End of Twitter post by @EDRRobot. How can they trademark a phrase that has been used as part of language? End of Twitter post by @Flogu. Some see it as a missed opportunity that African companies could have capitalized on. It's not even colonial. It is a lack of self-assertion and belief in our own as a people. Disney saw an opportunity we did not. End of Twitter post by @Bonald and to read. While others say they first associate it with a different Hakuna Matata song by Kenyan band The Mushrooms, released a decade before the Disney film, and later covered by Bonnie M., a popular tourist attraction, has become the latest Chinese company to show solidarity with Huawei. Its chief finance officer, Nan Wangsu, who was arrested in Canada on 1 December, Shannon Mountain Scenic Park, in eastern Hainan province said, it would waive the $9.65 ticket fee for anyone carrying a Huawei phone. Ms. Man, who was given bail in Canada, faces extradition to the US on charges of breaking Iran sanctions. Her case has upped tensions with China. Use Huawei phones. Shoot grand photos on the mountain. A notice on the Shannon Park, its social media account said, "We wish friends around the world who support Huawei's success and bliss. The offer would last until 29 December. The South China Morning Post reported, but it was met with some criticism among China's social media users, who claimed it was discriminatory. Huawei phone owners are being offered other enticements too. They can get a 20% discount at a border in Beijing. Seen in Beijing, bring a Huawei phone and get
20%
off. Similar to this story we covered yesterday. https://QUXL19YPQLPIC. Twitter
com
Secretariat. End of Twitter post by @LuOceanT. At least one firm has threatened to penalize anyone buying Apple products. A few days ago, Petition-based LED and display manufacturer offered subsidies to any employees buying Huawei phones. It also pledged to fine anyone who bought an Apple iPhone. United States prosecutors alleged Ms. Man
46
used a Huawei subsidiary called Skycom to evade sanctions on Iran between 2009 and 2014. It also alleged she publicly misrepresented Skycom as being a separate company from Huawei, and that she deceived banks about the true relationship between the two companies. Ms. Nang, who is the daughter of Huawei's founder, has denied any wrongdoing and said she will contest the allegations. Life of Huawei's high-flying heiress. The United States has been investigating the Chinese telecoms giant. The world's second largest smartphone maker since 2016, believing that it used Skycom to bring United States manufacturing equipment and millions of dollars in transactions to Iran in violation of sanctions. Ms. Mang's detention comes amid an increasingly acrimonious trade dispute between Washington and Beijing. China is angry at her detention, saying she has not violated any laws. Beijing has threatened severe consequences unless Canada releases the executive. Since her arrest, 2 Canadians, a former diplomat and a businessman, have been detained in China on suspicion of harming national security. United States President Donald Trump said last week that he might intervene in the U.S. Justice Department's case against Ms. Mang if it would serve national security interests or help achieve a trade deal with China. If I think it's good for what will be certainly the largest trade deal ever made, which is a very important thing, what's good for national security, I would certainly intervene if I thought it was necessary, he told Reuters news agency. Canada reacted by urging Mr. Trump not to politicize the situation. Our extradition partners should not seek to politicize the extradition process or use it for ends other than the pursuit of justice, Foreign Minister Chrysler Freeland said. The United States military says it has killed 62 fighters from the Islamist group Al-Shabaab in 6 airstrikes in Somalia. 4 airstrikes on Saturday killed 32 militants, and a further 2 on Sunday killed 28. It said in a statement. These were the deadliest air attacks in Somalia since November 2017, when the United States said it had killed 100 militants. Somalia has seen a sharp increase in the number of airstrikes and casualties since President Donald Trump took office in the U.S. in January 2017. A tally by the Bureau of Investigative Journalism reveals that at least 400 people have been killed in airstrikes since the beginning of 2017, far more than the previous 10 years combined. The latest strikes bring to at least 40 the number carried out in Somalia so far this year, compared with 35 recorded in 2017. The U.S. has a huge military base in neighboring Djibouti, from where it launches attacks on the militants. Mr. Trump gave the U.S. military greater authority in March
2017
to attack militants in Somalia. Traditionally, United States presidents have been wary of intervening in Somalia, since it and Special Forces soldiers died fighting militias in the capital Mogadishu in 1993, a battle dramatized in the film Black Hawk Down. No civilians were killed in the latest airstrikes, which were carried out in coordination with the Somali government, the United States military said. Alongside our Somali and international partners, we are committed to preventing Al-Shabaab from taking advantage of safe havens from which they can build capacity and attack the people of Somalia, the U.S. Africa Command said. Al-Shabaab, which is linked to Al-Qaeda, has not yet commented on the latest strikes. Somalia-based security think tank the Herald Institute said, in a report published in November, that Al-Shabaab had been forced to change tactics following the upsurge in airstrikes. The institute said the group was now conducting fewer mass attacks on military bases, but a tax on government offices and businesses which refused to pay its taxes had increased markedly. The United States State Department, in its most recent report on terrorism, described Somalia as a terrorist safe haven and said Al-Shabaab remained a threat despite suffering setbacks. The group retained control over large parts of the country and the ability to carry out high-profile attacks using suicide bombers, explosive devices, mortars, and small arms. The report added, the US military says it has killed 62 fighters from the Islamist group Al-Shabaab in 6 airstrikes in Somalia. 5 airstrikes on Saturday killed 32 militants, and a further 2 on Sunday killed 28. It said in a statement, "These were the deadliest air attacks in Somalia since November 2017, when the US said it had killed 100 militants."